Hello boys, it is me, the bag of coleslaw that you left in your fridge from last November. How are you? I'm expired. I want to show you today how my Enchantress has been going. She's been going well. I mean, boys, you know this build gets me bricked up, and I hope you like watching me getting bricked up, because you're going to see more vids of this in the future, okay? So I wanted to show you how this has been progressing from my first initial week 1 video, and I've got a lot of updates I wanted to show you. So I reckon to kind of start, let's start off with some gameplay. You can see I have an orb and a shield, so I'll get to that in a moment. But chanting myself and good old Gwynny here, I've got 43 enchants, so we're getting up there, boys, right? We're getting up there. Now, myself, sitting at 12k, 14k, so in my first week I was at 9k, and now we've bumped that up. As you can see, my resistance are looking a lot more different, alright, than our first setup. So let's go straight into some P1 cows, eh? Now, I didn't put my razor tail on, I'm still using something else, so we'll get to that in a moment. As you can see, pretty smooth. I could even just hop around with Gwynny and let her kind of take it herself. Look at that. Go on, Gwynny. There you go, honey. Now, I did see the comments on my last few videos, people saying that, you know, the basic attacks, fires explosive basic attacks on bloody Kuko doesn't work on Mercenary. And you're right. I did some testing. And yeah, that's the case. Although I found that it does kind of work in player versus player. But, I don't know. I don't care. At least it still looks fun, right? With the explosion. But yeah, we've got bigger damage. Obviously, the clear speed is absolutely incredible. Next time, I'll try and record something in a higher player count game for you guys, because I feel like I'll definitely need to. I wanted to do P1 because I showed P1 in my last week, right? In the last week that I showed. And this is just a brilliant equivalent. Should we keep that, Jewel? I'll come back for it. Let's find one more big pack. There we go, boys. Easy peasy, clear speed, absolutely brilliant. The fire damage is so high, even with just a Sunder, without Infinity, without Plague for low res, we're still dropping stuff fast. Obviously, there's certain things which are a little bit slower, which certainly at the top of that is going to be things like Venom Lords, because they're generally a high health pool and high fire res. And of course, the Minions of Destruction, 5th wave, can go fuck themselves, because they're just horrible for solo fire without Infinity. So let's get into some gear. I want to show you guys how I'm doing, what the upgrades are, how things are going. I showed Gwynny, she's pretty much the same. This is going to stay here until we get Infinity and we start shifting things up. Later on, I might get like a +3 Mat Bow Mist with Wisdom and Treachery, maybe Flickering Flame and Treachery. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I meant. Like Flickering Flame, Treachery, and a Mist in a +3 Matriarchal Bow. Maybe that could be a variant I'll try and chase to compare in clearing cows with Infinity. I actually don't know. I need to properly test that. But over to my gear, right? What are we kind of looking at? Oh, I don't want that. I want this. I don't want that. I want this. Demon Machine. I got rid of my Shale, yeah, and I put in 15 IS Jewel because it looked cooler. I don't know. That's all I can really tell you, boys. It doesn't have any stats that roll on it, which is kind of great. But I also don't like it that there's no stats that roll at all on a Demon Machine. It's kind of odd. Very specifically, 36 mana, 321 defense, 632 attack rating, 62 max damage, 123 ED. Why does it not roll? I don't understand, boys. They look like random stats. 66, 632. What the fuck? Does anyone else think that's weird? But yeah. It'd be nice if it did roll, but hey, you know, one thing less that we have to farm. And I think that's one reason why Kuko is not going to go up that drastically in price, right? As this build gets more popular. Now, Flickering Flame is pretty much staying the same. I'm really lucky I got -15 res. Level 6 Resist Fire Aura is not the highest, but it's good enough. So I'll probably keep this for a while until maybe I get some expendable income and I want to roll it in a better base, right? Maybe a Winged Helm. But it's good for the time being. Amulet, +3 fire skills, 10 FCR, which is pretty tasty, mind you. This is probably going to sit here until I get something like a good caster amulet. So as I showed before, I am saving up all my stuff to try and get that. or to try and craft sometime with the boys, so hopefully we can get there. I am sitting at 92, so this, when I get this level down to the end and I have enough materials, I will scrounge around and do a crafting stream eventually. But until then, this is what we got. So recently I just socketed this with one of the boys on the Discord. We got it socketed with and this is a perfect res wormhide, which is absolutely brilliant. So with this helps so much with our resistances. You look on the left, boom, now we're actually on something more reasonable. This has close to the similar res to something like Chains of Honor, and that's something I'm interested in building towards, actually, with +2 skills, great stats, a little bit of MF, and also that massive res of 65 on Chains of Honor. So who knows, I might get that in the future. Now, I still have these boots on for general res, so if I'm farming various TZs where when I feel reasonably comfortable when I need my light res, really, I would put these on. I don't necessarily need the fire res as much. You can see it goes down to 50 there, but it's okay. I need the light res, right? And they're pretty nice boots for MFing. So depending if I swap these out to my Trekkies, which we can see over here. If I swap these out to my Trekkies, right, then I would need to swap out some of my charms of like my poison, because I wouldn't actually need that, right? But it's pretty decent with the Trekkies, to be honest. I just want these on in the time being, and now I'm pretty happy with it. So over here we've got our Mage Fist, right, 20 FCR, not bad. These are perfect, 30 ED, I upped them once. Comment down below if you think I should up these to Crusader Gauntlets. I think the required strength is 151. I don't know, should I do it, boys? I do have enough strength for a Monarch, which I showed. Maybe. Ravenfrost is the same. I still have a shitty dual res belt, so maybe I'll craft something later on, but I am saving for amulets first. I think that's a good priority. Shitty res ring, because my ring luck has been horrible, but my luck has picked up elsewhere. So looking at the charms first, I've got Bingo Bongo. Not the best res, as I showed. I swap it out if I put Sandies on, that sort of thing. But I did manage to get some skillers. I got one with 5 strength, and I got one with 12 FHR, which I think the guy I traded it off didn't have any clue of the importance of FHR, so I pretty much paid nothing, the same as a plain one. And then a 71 Sunder, so close to perfect, right? Pretty good. Now on Switch, what do we have here? We have a 34 Spirit, and we have... You've probably seen the highlight video. I may post it before this, I'm not sure. But this is my +5 Enchant Orb. I slogged through a horrible trade of hours and bad communication with a fella on Asia server. I'm not racist, it was just bad timing and time zones, okay? But boys, I'm glad I spent the time investment to get this, and my god, it was beautiful. I did a roll with some of the boys on Larzik to try and get basically a coin flip, right? If you socket a magic item, if you didn't know, Larzik has a 50% chance of giving it a 1 socketed or 2, and we landed the 2, which is unbelievable because it's such a gamble on such an expensive item, right? And I got 2 facets. I tried my hardest to get the red ones, and I got them. So I got 5% skill damage and the lowest of -3 enemy fire res, which is great because I don't care about the minus res, as this is my pre-buff on Switch. And just like that, we replaced our shitty cheap memory staff. Not bad, boys, eh? Not too bad. Now, over here, I do have another extra Kuko. Oh, not Kuko, sorry, my Demon Machine. And I wanted to get rid of the Shale in that one, and I wanted to replace this one here with a new jewel that I found. So I thought I'd show you, boys. So I found a red jewel, which is perfect, on theme, right, for an Enchant Sorceress. 15 IS, which we need, and 27 cold res. So, pretty much the main 2 res that I need with this is cold and lightning. Fire is most likely covered, majority covered by our flickering flame. One thing to bear in mind is we have a shitty Annie with 10 res, and we have no Hellfire Torch. So potentially, that is 30 more all res that we can get, but even if you add that on here, and swap out a couple of other bits of gear, we're still, oh, sorry, I changed my hotkeys recently, so it's pissing me off. I know, I did it. Am I mad at myself? But we'll still need that for the cold res, and potentially lightning res. So, we're going to be doing that here, boys. 15 IES, 27 cold res, boom. One step closer to being min-maxed. And speaking of min-maxed as well, we did get a perfect ED Razor Tail, and we upped it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Who cares about that? We don't need that. Brilliant. So I could probably end that here, but why not? Let's go clear something, anything. How about we go over to Outer Cloister, since it's a TZ, and it'd be nice to show you guys how I perform without Infinity against higher level mobs that are fire immune. Where is the pit? I don't know why Tomoe Highland isn't TZ'd as well. That'd be a good one to do, right? One that also feels very lonely is Ancient Tunnels by itself. Because Claw Viper Temple and Lost Silly get TZ together if I remember right. But Ancient Tunnels is a little bit sad by itself. Pretty straightforward, hey boys. Pretty straightforward. If you guys think there is certain pieces of gear or a combo of pieces of gear that would be good for me to try or to build on this, that might be good for Terra Zone farming or something else, maybe I just completely missed or overlooked something, chuck it down below, because I definitely want to cover it. I want to try different build setups with this Enchantress to find out which is going to be the best one, and for as long as I can, I'm going to be playing this one build, right? So it'd be great to hear your thoughts about it. So easy. Oh, so easy. So easy, boys. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Oh, beautiful. Let's finish up the pit down here. White Monarch, maybe somebody wants that, maybe someone doesn't want that. One elite here. P1 TZ is really nothing, and I mean, man, I feel like there's not much point anymore showcasing this build at all on Players 1. I really don't. So I'll make sure I cover this in a higher play count if possible in the future. So let's finish that up there. Here's my absolutely beautiful orb, because I know you boys want to see it again. And speaking of seeing again, I hope I see you again, or I hope I see you seeing me again down in the comments.